It's this crew, and they work all together over and over again, making these fucking movies. And I'm like, all right, well, that's cool. I mean, it's basically Kevin Smith, Robert Rodriguez on a much lower budget and not as successful. So, yeah, that's cool. I want to see a movie about those 3 fucking movies being made.
Like Disaster Artist?
Disaster Artist or Dolomite, which is yeah, like, shit like that. Like, there could be a good one there.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
But, yeah.
Especially with how prestigious Basket Case is, like, held up as far as, like, genre fans. Like, people fucking love this fucking movie. It's insane.
Like I said, there's an audience for everybody, you know?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wanna hear what James has to say before we move over to Chris.
It blows my mind that there's actually a like fan base for this one. At first, it reminded me of Jesus, I don't know. Like the way it was shot, kind of reminded me of like Sam Raimi, and that kind of, I guess,
but in a shitty way.
Evil
yeah,
Dead.
I get it.
Yeah, in a shitty, the shitty way. Like it's this is definitely handheld and really weird. But that's the only thing that at first I was like, okay, this might be good. But then I saw the guy's hair, and I was like, no, this is not going to be good.
No shit. That hair, dude, your hair's pretty fucking close, so watch out. But that hair gets bigger and bigger throughout the fucking movie. Like, that's a joke. It's just like, at one point, I'm staring at it when they're at the bar. I'm like, he needs a fucking haircut. Don't worry about cutting off your twin. Cut off that fucking hair. It grows back.
Yeah, there were some points where it seemed like a lot shorter than it did. Like, it seemed a lot shorter, and then, like, in the next scene, it was way bigger. I don't know if that was intentional.
Yeah.
Or
weird, like I was saying in the intro, the weird transitions are like, it'll just, like, stop the scene and go to something else.
Yeah.
I think that, you know what that was? It seemed like they were shooting everything with only one camera.
Yeah, you could tell that too when he's checking into the hotel, and the guy's like, "Ha ha," and they keep cutting.
And it clips.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, it's done so poorly. But at the same time, I wasn't trying to judge too much. I'm like, it's a cheap production. It's this guy's first film, but it's like, fuck, that's what I'm afraid of doing, and that's why I haven't made shit.
And they go back and forth, but then, like, once again, like I said, this is like,
yeah, considered
art history.
Yeah.
What's crazy is that you could make this, and then there'd just be a shit ton of people out there that likes it. Dude. Like that'd be kind of nuts. Like the gamble of being a director is fucking insane.
Yeah.
Joe Crate, dude.
Yeah, I'd agree with, I think, the majority of us in saying that this was not a film I'll probably watch again. But I mean, I've never seen it, so I was I was excited to see it because I mean, I haven't seen it before, so I kind of had, I guess my expectations were kind of low, but this kind of still didn't help. But I don't know. It's a different movie, and like Wes just said, it does have its following, and it was successful somehow. So, yeah, I don't know. You want to take this one, Chris?
Yeah.
Want to take it home?
Fuck 77%.
I don't know how they got 70.
I can see an audience score.
Phantom's got like 13.
I can see an audience score of 77%. Because fans are going to drive this movie. Fans are why it's successful. I can see that. Critic? Who the fuck are these critics? They're the same ones that shit on DC movies and fucking jerk off Marvel, I bet. Those motherfuckers. Yeah. So...
He put down his phone, gentlemen.
Yeah, there's this movie, I don't hate this movie as much as it sounds like I hate it. I hate it what it represents. If that makes any sense. I did like, right now, we just had a moment where I quoted the movie where he said the Siamese twins, and I go, I'm not even Asian, like what they say in the movie. That part right there is worth watching it. Having that camaraderie with friends who watched it to quote stupid shit and laugh at that. Now, it is an hour and a half, a little over probably, right?
Hour 31.
Hour 31? So I was right, a little over, fucker. So yeah, an hour 31 for a 2-second laugh that I just had right now with Diego. But movies like this and the story of it being successful let younger filmmakers try. He did it, I can do it. So there's the silver lining of that. It took way too long to see nudity in this film, and the first nudity we saw was a dick.
Yeah.
And then I also thought, I'm like, oh, woman doctor for the surgeon. I'm like, well, that's progressive in the 80s. Oh no, she's a vet.
Oh wow!
They make her seem like a doctor.
Yeah, they do. I'm like, oh, okay, this is
And
cool.
all the doctors have procedure names like cutter or
Yeah, and they grabbed this like a tool that wasn't even used from like out the foliage on this film.
Is insane.
It's like, what the fuck are they doing? Like, is it just two kids in the garage banging shit together? Because the ADR too. Like, honestly, recording must have been super hard in New York. Loud sounds everywhere all the time. It's not like they could afford good things, and mics probably weren't as great back then. But I'm like, oh, totally tell the difference in tone. And I think that's how far we've come with how clean and smooth things are now, that it's hard to look back on that. Another thing that this movie made me really think of was Super 8.
Yeah.
Like, J.J. Abrams nailed those little kids making those movies. Because it was spot on in editing and acting, everything. I wouldn't be surprised if he showed him this movie.
So like, this, yeah,
act like this
as a tone
for when they made their own little short movies.
Maybe.
So, and he's a big genre fan in the film. The little boy does the makeup and everything, so it fits. It definitely isn't my cup of tea. This is not what I would normally watch at all. But I don't knock people who like it. It's just it wasn't even a chore to watch. So me and my girlfriend, we watched it together.
Wow, you made her sit through this?
She was willing to.
She was willing to.
She wanted to.
Shout out to your girlfriend.
Yeah,
bro.
Natalie, good job. she wanted to, and then she started yelling at me, and I went,
yelling at you.
just like, enjoy it. Like, every time there's a bad cut, or the ADR is like, oh my god. It's like, and my audible reaction to it is worse than the ADR that's playing. So she's like, well,
So has she
enjoy
heard
it.
of this beforehand, or
No, she hasn't. She's not like, she knows like some movies from her growing up. She's not like super into them like how we are. So like, I honestly never heard of this one either, and then pulled it up and then I watched the preview and was like, holy fuck, I guess I'm committed. Thank God Apple had it for 99-cent rental. But so it was fun watching with someone. I don't watch this alone because it's a waste of time. Watch it with some people, like especially if you know they're fans of this genre and want to see something stupid and just enjoy it. Like this would be great in the background at a Halloween party.
Yeah.
That's immediately what I thought when I saw it. That's why I was like, it's not only a horror movie, but like it fucking has some weird cheesy stuff in it, dude. And I was like glad to.
They really do. It's just. I really laughed at the claymation scene.
Yeah.
How they just switch.
Yeah.
They just switched completely.
We don't give a fuck.
Yeah. You do the chair, and then you see the real chair break.
The one that kills
like
when
that
he throws
meme.
the dresser, when he really like flips it, and it just goes set flying. I'm like, dude, like, what the?
Or like, was he humping the girl?
Yeah, he was like that was like a rape scene.
Okay, that's what I thought. Because I was like,
but it's so
the camera keeps moving up and down, but the camera work in this movie is shitty anyway. I can't tell.
Yeah, it's so jarring that you're just like
weird.
We really got a kick out if he just poked her nipple, boop, like it was a button.
And they trick you because they make you think it's Dwayne, right?
But they didn't trick you.
He's like running, but it's like their telepathy or whatever.
I don't even think it's telepathy. What I thought was they're twins, so maybe he sees himself as that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's how I took it. Like he's like, I'm not wrong.
That's valid.
Whatever.
That's valid.
He's like, or his fucking.
Oh god, the vocals in this.
When he's hiding in the toilet and he came out like.
They just keep doing.
Oh,
Yeah, like overdrive on that vocal, dude. I was like, holy shit.
yeah.
Some of the victim screams are just like cringy because they last for so long,
And the camera sits on them for so long.
they really like linger
Yeah.
on the victims.
I thought it was
They were
fucking
just, like,
Damien
giving up and
Chazelle
then, like,
directing this shit.
Okay, like,
Like Damien Chazelle fucking lingers on fucking Ryan Gosling.
Whiplash is a goddamn masterpiece. All right,
I love that movie. Dude, I love all his work. But he fucking lingers.
Yep.
Like, put it like James
Paul
Franco in Pineapple Express. He's a fucking lingerer, man. He's just fuck. It's just shit. But yeah. So it's like, I shit on the movie, but I don't. I wipe it. I clean it up afterwards. I use a doggy bag. Because I see the value of it. I can see how fans will enjoy it. But this is a one, if you recommend it to a friend, you give them a list of like, okay, first you gotta know like this, you gotta like this, don't expect too much, sounds shitty, and then you enjoy it.
Yeah,
It's like when you go see a stupid comedy and you didn't thought it was gonna be like a little smarter than that, and you hate it, but if someone tells you, oh, it's a fun stupid comedy, you think it's the best shit ever. That's all you gotta do when you recommend this.
so you got to set them up,
Yeah, you gotta let them know what they're about to not enjoy.
set them up, and knock them down.
So that's my opinion that everyone should agree with.
set them up.
I definitely agree. The whole taking the risk thing.
Yeah.
It's such it gives aspiration to different directors that don't. do
Yeah.
it. It's a lot easier now to make a film
That looks better too. That's
yeah.
like, because he was using film, so his cuts and his lighting was off, and that's something I think maybe we notice more
Yeah.
because we see so many movies. Maybe like a person who's just an average viewer of shit notice some unsettling. They don't know what it is, but they probably goes like, I don't know, semi unnoticed.
It's like
This movie perplexed me.
kind of when I sit down with one of my best friends who's a cinematographer, and I sometimes he'll ask me like, hey, what do you think about this?
Yeah.
And sometimes he does like cringe-worthy stuff where like he'll put in like a swish where he shouldn't have put it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, you might want to cut that off because it sounds terrible.
Those transitions are rough, but I forgot how much Star Wars used them. So it's like there is a place for them.
Yeah, it's just not. It's definitely, it has to be the right time with the right thing that you're filming.
Yeah,
It definitely doesn't have to be on everything.
It doesn't need to be a PowerPoint presentation.
Yeah, and so that's what I tell them. Like, it's not like this. Like, but we were talking about this movie earlier before I came to record, and I told them, I was like, see, like, this is like, you got to have that shitty film in your backlog, like where you're like, man, I fucked up, but yo, the next one is gonna be better. You
learn from it.
Yeah,
you learn from mistakes, which is like everyone who's successful tells you you're going to fail and you learn from it. But I don't. This dude didn't fail. Like, he didn't fucking learn shit.
What about when the monsters Belial? Is that his name?
I could never pronounce it. It's like, the twin.
Yeah, the twin. His eyes just start glowing at the end of the movie for some reason.
I was like, oh, maybe he's gonna see her powers.
I was trying to figure out what that was for, but I never got that.
They probably like, hey, I could do this. They're like, fucking do it.
just put it in there, dude.
Yeah.
In there.
Just put it in there.
At the beginning of the movie, he had no eyes, dude. Like, I was like, what the fuck? And then, like, throughout the movie, he started developing like more eyes. Like, I don't know. They started going normal eyes, blue eyes, and then he had fucking like lust eyes. Was that like lust or something?
Could have been.
What was activating? Was that
I
like
wanna
the sign
know.
of like?
How he like shit and piss.
Because they never show you.
No, but he's fucking eating.
That fool devours like fucking 6 burgers.
Yeah, and all those hot dogs like, you're done already?
And they just
It was like
start
20 burgers,
tossing
dude.
tossing
Was
the
it 20? I don't think
Yeah,
That's yeah, it was just
wrapped in foil.
yeah. It reminded me of Harry and the Hendersons. The fillet of fish.
James, I have a good question for